Therapy, roulette, consent event. Trauma disguised as comedy. Therapy, roulette, consent event. If you don't have problems, then you're likely repressing shit and you should find a therapist who's not me.
Tell me what you've done today. How's your day been going?
Oh man, Michelle. Well, right off the bat, your listeners have to cancel me because I've been going to the gym. Um, but I use the machines. I wipe the machine down before I use it, and then I wipe it down after, and I wash my hands. I
Oh
used to
damn,
do stuff on the mat.
you've been going to
I
a
know.
real life gym.
A real life gym. This
That's
is
awesome
really
though.
controversial. Less than a minute in. Yeah, it's
That's
been
something
really
I
nice.
miss. I miss the gym desperately because that's like my way of getting out rage or frustration, all those negative emotions. So
Yes.
you're healthy and like maybe stable compared to most people right now. That's awesome.
At what cost? At the cost of social suicide, I guess. But for good reason. I
I
really
feel
do
like
try to be careful.
I try not to fear being canceled, so I try to encourage others. The world, Twitter is gonna do what they're gonna do. So
Twitter, do your thing. All I can do
mhm.
is sit back and watch.
Come at us. Kay's going to the gym. Is
Yeah,
it
really. What a
is
sentence.
is it the Long Island like gym or Brooklyn?
I am on Long Island right now, and I was actually home for like a little under 2 years, right before I moved out, January 2020.
Okay.
And one thing that I really missed about being home was this gym right near my house. It was
What
really
a
spacious. It's LA Fitness.
what a time to move out of your parents' house.
Yeah, yeah.
January
I've been
2020.
taking right, and, like, I'm obviously very privileged and, like a lot of people, the pandemic totally fucked up my life, but I have been taking the time to just mourn and be like, "Wow, you literally, like, just got it together and moved out and had 3 months of really they were really great 3 months, January to March of 2020,
Sucks it's
before everything changed."
such a brief run of independence, and then it's like, and now don't leave your households. Just lock it down, stay put.
That's exactly right, nail on the head.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're going to the gym. Is it like people are spread out and is it at a capacity like everything else?
Yeah, it's out of capacity. There's like cleaners everywhere that I overly use, and it's every other machine. And I've been tattling if you're not wearing a mask, which is great because that's like my new philosophy for 2021 is just always tattle.
Yeah, I
So
think
if you're not wearing a mask, like I'm going to tell on you.
we have to call out the anti-maskers, especially the people who have their nose hanging out everywhere. If you're in line at a business and someone's like heavily breathing through their nose. We walked by this guy in public the other day, no mask, just like brutally
Just
coughing,
vibes.
just
Mhm.
coughing everywhere. We're like, he has the Rona, and we have it now too because he's coughing so close to us. So
Oh
you can't
no.
you can't control what people are doing, and so many people are not cognizant of how they're affecting others.
I mean, the shit's still spreading, right? Like, and a
Rapid
lot of people are
fire.
going to work. Yeah, like essential workers are still going in. It's so different though, because like me and Gabe both worked in the city, so like we're not going in, but we have friends and neighbors who don't live in the city, who've been going into wherever they work, whether that be an office or like a school or some sort of essential work.
Yeah. In California, a lot of stuff is shut down, but I know some people are going to their offices. Like Joseph was going into his office for a while. And then
Mhm.
in December, they were like, maybe not this month. Like maybe we'll play it safe this month because of the holiday spread. So it's been back
Oh,
and forth.
that's interesting. Yeah, I've heard other people say like they went in for a month and then they got some email that was like, "Don't go in anymore." My
Yeah.
office has just been closed, and
Because
we're definitely closed till April.
I know there's for me, if I was running an office, I would be like, there's spikes in the news, let's shut it down. But then I know other places of work have had like outbreaks, so it's probably
God.
a bunch of reasons. I
You're
love
not
the
wrong.
I love the podcast mic. It looks so sleek.
This is my new Christmas toy. I
It's
like it a
awesome.
lot.
Good
Yeah, it's
job.
so cute. Good job, Gabe. You got it
Good
for
job,
me.
Gabe.
I
Nice
know.
eye.
I rarely give Gabe credit for anything. I tell
As
Gabe all the time
you
I'm
should.
famously unimpressed by you.
You have to keep the oldest child in their place.
That's true. You're the oldest, right, Michelle?
Yeah, and my ego, like, can inflate sometimes, so I feel like you have to not give us too much credit, too many compliments, because we will
You have a
roll with
lot of
it.
siblings.
I
You
do.
have you have
1 of
double.
4.
Mhm.
But I feel like you and Gabe are a good, like, comedy family, so you're both funny.
Yeah,
You're both
people ask us if our parents are
entertaining.
funny. Yes, minimum we're entertaining. Yeah, it's a train wreck in slow motion.
No. So we're here with Kay Mollica. Kay, how are you doing? It's been forever since I've seen you.
I know it's been, like you were saying, I think a decade, if not more. I've
Yeah.
been doing fine. Everyone is healthy and well. We are in month 10 of quarantine and everyone's just pretty used to the routine.
Fine
No
is a good
complaints.
fine is a good word for it. I've been saying I'm okay. I'm okay today. Like
Mhm.
I'm doing better than other days, but I'm never doing good or great or any of those like explanatory over the top words.
Oh, yeah, I think you're like a sociopath if you're like, "I'm amazing. Everything's great for
I've
me."
never been better. 2020 was my year. So,
Right.
coming into the new year, I feel like it's that little reset button. I feel like people are like happier about a new year on our calendar.
Oh, yeah, I love all that shit. I love Mondays, I love New Year's, like, a fresh hour, I love that. Like, I love a fresh start. I love new journals, all of it.
Mhm.
Really
Me
into that stuff,
too. Oh
right?
my god, Instagram's been like bombarding me with the ads for journals because I looked up one planner/gratitude journal thing and now they're like, "Why don't you look at all varieties that exist in the world? Like here you go on your Instagram feed." It's overwhelming.
Oh, yeah, and then when you order one, it, like, literally falls apart and all the pages will fall out.
Yeah, it
I'm
looks
hella
like it was
ashamed.
made it looks like it was made in like a elementary school like from 10 years ago factory. Not even
Definitely.
not even vibrant like the pictures.
Exactly.
But
Instagram is lies in every way, shape, and form.
I've been getting into Post-its and just like old school writing a list out.
Ooh, nice.
Mhm.
A good sticky note.
Something basic so I can't fuck it up too bad. So tell us, how's your therapy life going right now? Are you in therapy? How's it going?
That's a great question. I am in therapy. I am in Zoom therapy since August? Question mark.
Nice.
I've been on and off with therapy since college. But
Okay.
I've only had one like major therapist who I saw pretty religiously every other week IRL. And then this new therapist I've been seeing um, every other week over Zoom. And before that, in college, there's like a certain amount of therapy sessions you can see at like the counseling center until they kind of run out. And then I did a program with AmeriCorps, and they had like 6 free therapy sessions, and I took my 6 of them, and then they were out.
Interesting. So
Yeah.
I never went into like counseling in college because I feel like I wasn't that advanced mentally to be like, oh, you can seek help for your problems. Like I didn't realize that was an option in college. Um,
Mhm.
so was it like on campus they give you so many sessions and they're like, we offer this to every student. Like, here you go. Was it just like everyone gets this if you want to take advantage of it?
From what I remember, yes, and I remembered, like, distinctly, like, the sessions running out.
Hmm.
But really, Michelle, I did that, like, my senior year. Like, I was just raw dog in life from freshman year to junior year, which was, like, inadvisable.
I know, because if you
Um
think about a college student, what do you have? Your peers to like seek advice from, and everyone's just like
Don't
wild and
recommend.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
No
a bunch of
one,
art students. No,
no
everyone's
one's
in their
giving
feelings
you,
constantly.
no one's giving you like mature, wise nuggets of wisdom. So
Unfortunately, no. SUNY Purchase, not filled with, a lot of psych majors in terms of who will eventually go on to be the best therapists, but no
oh,
shade, I love SUNY Purchase.
did you study psych in college?
I didn't, but you know what? If I could go back, I think I would've double majored or honestly minored in either that or sociology.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, I love those topics, and I actually minored in arts management, which we all called farts management, LOL. And I don't, like, regret it, but if I could go back, those were a waste of 5 classes. Like, I didn't learn anything in them. I found them, like, pretty uninteresting. And
Really?
it was mostly just like, just go get an internship if you wanna be a manager of the arts.
Well, I feel like because you were at SUNY Purchase, which is an arts school, maybe
Right.
they were like, we could specialize in arts management, and then it looks good when you get it on your diploma and your GPA, resume, and everything.
Mhm. Absolutely, and, like, it really took me a while into college and then a little bit outside of college to just know the purpose of a liberal arts education is, like, not so much that specialization. Like, I learned how to think and to, like, read and write and, like, made mistakes and, like, changed my mind on a lot of things, and I think that was the point of those 4 years. Like, if I really wanna specialize, I can give a grad school lots of money, which is the only prerequisite to getting into grad school.
I know, I feel the same way, like, I studied English and creative
Mhm.
writing, so I feel like I didn't have to do that traditionally at a four-year school, but it did help me, like, give myself that time to really delve into it and socialize and, learn how much alcohol I could take on a weekend. Like, I learned all these important things, but the degree, it's like,
Right, of
oh,
course.
the degree is whatever in the end. It's, like, not gonna make or break me long term.
Yeah, agreed, and that's awesome that you studied those things. Okay, let me see if I get this right. Was it Binghamton you went to?
Yes, Binghamton,
Oh,
SUNY Binghamton.
ding ding. Yes,
They
state
call it
school bitches.
They
That's
call
us.
it a public Ivy just to make you feel better. They're like, "No, this is a
Those aren't
great public
words.
school." Yeah.
You can't
It's
say, like, the something of Ivy is the nothing of not anything. Like, you can't.
it's all marketing jargon to, like, pull you in. That and the free cookies they give
Mhm.
you.
We are spilling the tea right now on every form of higher ed. Higher ed found dead.
Yeah, it's nice to talk to another SUNY student because I only have my close Binghamton group to talk about this
Mhm.
stuff, and then no one else understands what a SUNY is.
No, and, like, I'm really proud to be the product of a public school education too,
Same. I feel like
and
it was
SUNYs are great.
economically a good choice, like, being
Totally.
from New York, you get a pretty discounted tuition.
Exactly, and even outside of New York, it's not so bad.
Yeah, it's a good school. SUNY Binghamton, SUNY Purchase. Check them out.
Go there.
What made you wanna go to art school? Because what did you end up majoring in at Purchase?
Oh god, it's so strange thinking about why I made the decisions I did at 17. Um,
'Cause
like, I'm
I
Go
applied to
ahead.
Purchase too, because I just applied to, like, a bunch of schools,
Mhm.
and I remember thinking maybe I wanna specialize in creative writing at, like, a specific art school,
Yeah.
and I applied to their water polo team, and they accepted me out of
Wow,
out of
that's
no
awesome.
no water polo test, and I was like, "I don't know if I trust, this acceptance letter."
No test, and I can't swim. Wow. Oh,
I don't
no.
I don't know what it was. Maybe they made you pick an extracurricular on the application or something like that.
Oh god, I probably blocked it all out. Um, yeah, to Michelle, like, we both grew up in Garden City, which is, like, an affluent suburb, and
Yeah.
so much of our self-worth was based on, like, the college we got into and what we even were comfortable applying to. They, like, published all of our names in the schools we were going to in, like, our graduation programs,
Yeah.
and I was like
I
yeah.
assisted with the publication in the newspaper, the school
Wow, Michelle,
newspaper.
you're part of the problem.
I am fully part of the problem, but I had to do it. I was on the newspaper staff.
You had to do it, gun to your head, you had to list where all our peers went to very expensive private schools.
But
Yeah,
that's
but it's
so
like, I don't think
true.
other schools do that, like,
I feel like
I
if
remember
you go to college at all, it's like a huge, like, accolade, like, "You're going to college? Awesome." And
mm,
then the name really matters in Garden City because everything's about the
right.
brand, everyone's wearing Burberry, but it shouldn't matter that much. Like, I didn't know what Binghamton was. I was like, "Oh, it's a school in New York, and people there
Yeah.
wear rain boots." I thought that was cool that it rains a lot. Didn't
Rain
know the
boots is
extent.
college culture, that's so true. College
Right.
students love rain boots.
Like, tall rain boots with pajama pants and just not really caring what the whole outfit looks like.
Absolutely, that's living the dream.
And I didn't
Yeah, and,
realize
like,
before how
I
much rain and snow it would be, but then it all worked out.
yeah, really, now you're in LA.
Mhm.
Um,
But
but
what
yeah,
made
I
you
distinctly
decide, like
remember
what made you decide art school?
Mhm. Well, I'll say this too, like, I remember people, like, sticking up their noses kind of like, this person's going to SUNY Purchase, or like maybe you experienced that with Binghamton. Um, well,
I
I
remember
wasn't really.
people
Mhm.
saying like, "Oh, I got into Binghamton as like my safety." And I'm like, "Okay." I don't know what safeties are. I mean, whatever. Go ahead.
Right?
You go
Yeah, the
you go
whole
ahead, Kay.
culture of that. What a mess. No, that's
Yeah.
okay. We're vibing. It's all good.
Too many
I distinctly
memories.
remember not really not going into like a conservatory. And Purchase is pretty known for their different conservatories for just like kind of all means of art, like visual and performing arts and music. So
Mhm.
I just joined the liberal arts program, and it was close enough to home where I could pop home for the weekend. It was expensive. Most importantly, I got into it. I'm not the most academic inclined person. I feel like I wasn't really focused on school or grades like that. I'm still really not that interested. And I think I'm a smart person too, but I just like, I don't care. I don't care about testing well. I just wanted to get out. That was really
Yeah.
my only MO, I remember at the time.
Like, did you feel like you had to go to college? I feel like it was expected in our hometown.
Yeah, I did feel like I had to go to college, but I also was just like, "Oh, I can't wait to, like, live in a dorm and eat microwave popcorn with my new cool friends and, like,
Yeah.
meet boys," which, like, 2 of those 3 things happened.
All the boys at SUNY Purchase.
Right, exactly. That's definitely my reputation of SUNY Purchase. Just a real
Microwave
fox.
popping, yeah.
Yeah, that's her popping her microwave popcorn, just a revolving door of adorable men in beanies. No.
I do
No, no, no.
remember looking into it because I think it was one of the first schools I got into, and then
Mhm.
I looked up, like, Regina Spektor went there and a couple
Right.
super famous people, and then I don't know why I didn't look further into it. I was like, "I'm not really that artsy. I don't know why I applied to this."
We do have pretty illustrious alumni. Stanley Tucci and Edie Falco both went to SUNY
Oh my
Purchase.
god, I love Edie Falco.
Oh, yeah, and we have these 2 scanners in the library, Edie Falco and Stanley Tucci.
What an homage to them. 2
Yes.
scanners.
Isn't that
Nice.
what you want? Just a scanner that has some sort of pun on Michelle Botchkalupo?
For sure. I mean, I could take a more updated technology if possible. Give me, the new iPhone named after me, but whatever.
Right. Yeah, my
I'm not
legacy is definitely gonna be like a beeper. Like, no one uses that.
It'll be retro by the time it comes back around.
That's definitely my brand. I'll take it.
So you went to Purchase and then dabbled in therapy senior year, and then,
Mhm.
how did you come up with this, like, new or is it new, the once every other week schedule, the biweekly schedule? How did you, like, go into therapy saying, "I wanna see you every other week"? Was that your idea?
Mhm. I think it's standard, question mark. I also just know it's better economically to have a payment twice a month as opposed to 4 times a month.
For sure.
Um
I've always wanted that schedule, and the therapist I find is always like, "Oh, no, we do weekly, if not more," and I'm like, "Oh."
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's what's so interesting about therapy. It's like it's so varies, and honestly, it really just boils down to who this therapist is.
Right.
And there's lots of different types of therapy. I just do regular old talk therapy, but I love to gab. I definitely love to express my feelings through so much talking. But I know other people prefer more of a goal-based therapy or behavioral therapy. Um, I happen to not see a psychiatrist for my needs, but some people do, and that's all good. And I kind of wish those things weren't so separate, right? Like the medicine man and then the person you talk about your feelings with, but we'll
Yeah.
take down the medical industrial complex next time I'm on. Too many large.
Feel free to dabble if you want. It's a conversation, but I feel like it's hard to get into the whole field of psychology saying like, "I need help with something. Where do I start?" There's a bunch of different branches of the tree. So yeah, I don't know how people go from like psychiatry to talk therapy to whatever
Mhm.
specializes they're looking at to. But you're doing talk therapy, so what's that like right now? How is your like rapport with your therapist? Are they really good in some areas or not so much?
Yeah, I have really been enjoying her so far, and I got really lucky because I went on Psychology Today, typed in my health insurance, and kinda just went speed dating with a couple different ones. And the reason I liked my current therapist, L, which is cool because both our names are letters, but
Yeah.
not. So first sign,
You
really
have that
good.
in common.
Not in common, exactly. She was really prompt and she answered my email right away. She scheduled a time and just called me at the time she said she was going to. And like another person called me really late and like that's not a good look. Like I'm looking for you to provide me a service, so you should like follow like the basic protocol of like being on time and stuff.
Yeah. Do you mean they
So I
called
really liked
you
that.
did they call you late in the day, you mean?
Well, she just like, "Oh, I'll call you at 3:15," and she actually called me at 3:15 for that initial right? It's a consolation, yeah.
Yeah. So she was just like, prompt with what she was promising. Like, I'm gonna deliver
Exactly.
at 3:15.
Yeah, and what's cool about her, she's actually a therapist for artists,
Mhm. Oh, that's
which
awesome. They have
is
that in
so
LA, but I
prestigious.
feel like it's the ones I've seen in LA online, it's, like, super over the top where I'm like, I don't need this acting coach therapist." But
Sure.
I love the whole idea of it. Like, I would love, like, someone who knows what creative people are like and the struggles
Mhm.
creative people tend to go through because it's so different from, like, regular business type people.
I agree, yeah, we've talked about this before too, like, you can wager so much of your self-worth on what you produce or like, "Oh, I didn't write today, and I'm a writer, like, who even am I if I don't do the thing?"
Yeah.
And luckily, that's not so much my problem. Don't worry, I have other problems. But,
'Cause during the
she
pandemic
knows. Mhm.
everything's, like, heavier on creative people because so many things have
Right.
been taken away from us.
Oh, yeah, it sucks, like, I was doing shows, I think, like, every other night, like, at least once a week,
Mhm.
um, and,
Doing
like, that was a
improv
huge part of my life just gone, you know? Sorry, what'd you say?
you do improv and sketch, is that right?
I was doing, yeah, improv and sketch comedy on
That's
stage.
that's a lot of shows every other night.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't I guess I'll say, like, it was either, like, rehearsals or writers' meetings or really just, like, meeting up with friends from comedy, and that all accumulates to you, like, having a better rapport on stage, so I consider that part of the journey, but I really miss it. It
That's
was
true.
really such a big part of my life, yeah.
You align chemistry with, like, different people in the field, and it makes for a better show on stage.
Absolutely, and, I've been wanting to kind of get involved in the comedy scene, like, honestly, since I was, like, 13. So it was this, like, huge dream of mine to just, like, be in New York and just, like, do the thing, like, be involved in the world, even if that didn't mean, like, the star of everything and everyone knows your name, like, I kinda just wanted to be involved. They looked like they were having fun, and they've
Yeah.
always looked like they were having fun to me, and I finally just got to do it.
I
And
feel
I'm
like that's
glad I
how it
kinda went really
starts.
hard before it all shut down.
That's awesome. I mean, that's I feel like how you have to get into the scene. You just wanna be in it to begin, and then, like, having fun is a great goal. You don't wanna be the top of the playbill or, like, the number
Yeah,
1 headliner. You don't have to push Mark Maron out of the way or some, like, famous comedian.
exactly.
It's good to be, like, humble about it.
Oh, yeah, that's me. No hubris on my end.
I like how everything sounds so sarcastic coming out of your mouth.
I know I'm terrible. People really think I'm mean. I'm not mean. I'm sorry. I just come off that way all the time. That is so my cross to bear, Michelle.
I feel you, Kay. We all have a cross. And then you write for Reductress? Do you write, like, headlines, or do you how what's your relationship with Reductress? Because I love that website.
Yeah, me too. I've been writing for them for a little over 2 years.
Oh, nice. As a
Yeah.
freelance person?
Mhm. I
Okay.
freelance for them. So the way it works is that they take new writers once every season, so, 4 times a year. And once you're in, like, when you submit your packet and they accept you, you're in for life. And you get on the listserv, and every Tuesday, they send you, like, the list of headlines that got kind of picked that week. So it's nice to get, like, a sneak peek of what's gonna come on the website. But you can pitch every single week, you just have to pitch a minimum of 10 headlines. So, usually if I think of a headline, I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna sit on that until I think of 9 more."
Yeah, that's smart.
Mhm. But yeah,
I've
it's a lot. 10 is a lot, and, a lot of writing for a Reductress is just, like, putting shit up against the wall and seeing what sticks, you know? So I
yeah,
have, like I'm sitting on so many rejected headlines, which is fine.
it's like The Onion, but with, like, a feminist bent, I would say.
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. I really like their ability to punch up and, like, they're really determined to punch up and, like, they're just, like, set on showing a woman's perspective. And even with The Onion, you'll see headlines like "Area man does blah, blah, blah," and that's
Yeah.
not really their style. Yeah, even, like, if it's kind of this self-deprecating headline or, like, a truth and comedy headline, the focus is on women, and that's just, like, not something really seen overall in media, as I'm sure you know. And they're just
Yeah,
determined to, like, cut out their little niche like that. And I was a reader for so many years, so it was really, like, one of my bigger accomplishments comedy-wise to start writing for them. I love them.
that's awesome. Yeah, I feel like Reductress does more of like, let's get into the individual story, whereas The Onion's like broader news topic or
Mm.
but
Yeah, I think it focuses on the minutia for sure.
I do appreciate how like humor websites can make something funny when it's just text. It's like that's really hard to pull off to do headline, blurb, that's the humor. There's no like video, there's no flashy, montage going on. It's not very modern day. It's kind of like old school now.
Yeah, it's hard to write headlines because, like, the joke has to be there and it has to be clear immediately, and if
Mhm.
people aren't laughing upon, like, a first scroll through, like, an Instagram headline, like, it's just not gonna work, and it takes a lot of practice. I think you should write for them too, Michelle, you're funny.
Thank you. I'll look into it. I was actually,
Yeah, please do.
helping someone edit their packet yesterday for Reductress, so I was thinking
Oh,
about it.
sweet.
And I was like, "Oh, this is so
That's
much
great.
fun." Like, it was so much fun to edit and look through it. I was like, "I think
Mhm.
I could write this, I could write something similar." But yeah, that's similar to how, like, I got into comedy, thinking of, like, writing funny humor stuff. Like, I took a class that had us submit to McSweeney's and The Onion,
Oh,
and just
cool.
just look at those different, like, websites of people are getting paid money to make something funny online, and, like, you should try that for the class. So I think I got into it from, like, taking a class in college. Is that, like, did you have some kind of, like, light bulb go off for you where you were like, "I wanna do comedy, and I wanna do it all the time?" Like, what made you wanna do so much of your life devoted to comedy?
Oh, man, I comedy's truly one of my favorite thing. I think it'll always be my favorite thing, and I know that's true because that hasn't really changed since I've been little.
Mhm.
Um, and it's funny how I really just kind of dug in my heels, I think, like, the last 3 years, and I'm, like, 27 now. Um, but, Purchase didn't have much of what I was looking for in terms of, like, improv and sketch, and I started writing for the late night, show my senior year, which again is pretty late. Um, so it was nice to kind of just, like, finally, like, put those, I guess, dreams, so corny. I'm so earnest, someone fucking kill me.
No.
I put those, like, dreams to the forefront. Um, but
I
yeah,
will not
I've
kill
loved
you.
improv. Thank you. Oh my gosh, so COVID will do that to both of us eventually.
Mm,
Um,
true. Down the line. COVID 35.
yeah, did you ever see that tweet that was like, "In 2021, the only jobs will be OnlyFans, Amazon, or dead?"
I can't believe OnlyFans is,
It's
like,
so funny.
skyrocketed in the pandemic. Like, that's how everyone's doing a side hustle slash quitting their job, and I'm like, "Okay." Um, OnlyFans, Amazon, and what was the last thing?
The last one was dead.
Dead. Okay. So I choose, OnlyFans.
I
Of
think
those
I'll pick
3
dead.
options. Dead is the end. There's nothing after that, maybe. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah, that's my dark edgelord comedy for you.
TBD,
Not
TBD.
being afraid of death.
OnlyFans, you can take pictures of your feet, though. Like, you can do really, low effort
Totally.
low effort things and make money.
Oh, yeah, it's the people's medium. We
Mhm.
love that. If you are on OnlyFans, I support you and I love you.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah, I'm
say
so sorry, Michelle. I've
more
gotten
feminism power.
entirely exactly. God, it's so complicated.
No, it's good.
Um,
This is the comedy part of the podcast, so roll with it. But I don't think senior year is late. Like, if you started full 100% improv sketch, writing for Reductress, if you did that all freshman year of college, you would have burnt out probably. Like, I know
you
one or
know
two
what? You're
one
right.
or two people who started from day one, and they're kinda, like, over it now. They're like, "Oh, I've done that.
Mhm.
I've been on TV. I'm, like, as good as I'll ever," like, they kinda, like, have given up already, and they're 24, so
Wow, what a humble brag. Already been on TV. What a
yeah,
good
it's like
problem to have.
the child star who had a short run in his young 20s.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, those child stars, so sad, right? Can't get it together. Yeah, I think that's how I know I'm just, like, genuinely passionate about it is, like, this has always been on the back of my mind, which is great. And I've been kind of doing stuff virtually now, in this new era, although kind of sparingly. It's not the same. And just enjoying kind of focusing on other things. But
Mhm.
yeah, I've loved comedy and like being funny since I was little. And I remember taking improv classes when I was 13 and being like, I don't think there's anything more fun than this. This
See,
rules.
that's your young start, 13,
Yeah.
doing improv. That's, not a lot of kids do improv.
Yeah, agreed. And like improv is really hard. And like I've had so many bad shows and it's cool and that's fine. I have no shame.
It is really hard. I love
Yeah.
seeing a good team perform though. Like I feel like it's really hard to find people who, like you said, are like chemically in line with each other. They like know how to react to each other. They are confident on stage. You don't see that in like an amateur improv show.
No, you really don't, and, like, improv is so funny that way because when it's good, it's, like, really transcendent. It's like, "Wow, that was amazing. That was so good," and when it's bad, oh my god, it's so bad. It's
Yeah.
so hard to watch.
But you're like
Straight up painful.
there to support the show. Like usually someone is in the show and you're like, okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Or it's
Absolutely, yeah, none of this is for accolades. It was, like, for fun, and you'll meet a lot of people who are like, "I'm not here to have fun. I'm here to, like, network," and that's just not my vibe.
I'm here to work on my people skills as a lawyer or a doctor.
Yes, corporate improv is real. And you know what? That's fine. I have no contention with improvisers who are like, I'm going to make some money and teach a corporate workshop.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, people really do not have the tools to, like, have basic methods of teamwork and, like, listen and collaborate with each other. It's really messed up and strange, especially now. Like, I know my social skills have, like, totally atrophied since the pandemic.
Same. Like I don't know like if you've noticed while we're talking, but I feel like I'm always like so excited to talk to someone in the beginning because it's like it's rare to talk to someone who's not a work colleague, or like the people you live with. So it's like
Totally.
how do I talk to someone without seeming like way too crazy? Like way too excited for the one-on-one hang time.
Oh,
And then
absolutely.
yeah, with improv, I think I've taken a couple improv classes. I've always been nervous in the beginning, but then
Mhm.
when I look around the room, I'm like, everyone here is not that good, or they're also nervous. So like,
Yeah.
why am I stressing out?
Oh, improv's not cool. Like, if you're going to a show to be cool, like, you picked the wrong place. Yeah, I remember I was warming up for a show once and, like, with my team, and we were, like, whatever, doing if you've ever played Pass the Face, Michelle?
No, I don't think so.
So fun. So I make, like, a face, and then you have to repeat the face and maybe heighten it a little bit and then pass it to the next person.
Oh, I think that's too advanced for me. I think we were doing like word games.
Sure, yeah, all of it. All of it is straight up for children. But there was this other team performing that night, and someone, like, turned to us and was like, "Oh, you guys still warm up? That's so cute." Ew. Like,
What? Ariana Grande warms up. Like everyone warms up.
I should have said that. That's a perfect comeback. You know who else warms up? Ariana Grande. You better
You know
eat
how
those
much
words.
she's worth? Like billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars. You're not wrong. Yeah, and it was so, like, why are you trying to flex on us right now? Like, we're playing pretend and we paid for it. Like,
That's someone whose soul has withered and died, and they're just like, "Why is your soul still going?" Like, just calling you
oof.
out for having fun and, like, being professional.
Yeah, you're performing, like, it's okay to, like, wanna look nice and, like, be excited. It was always something to look forward to, like, at the end of the day, like, you just gotta embrace the cheese, like,
Yeah,
it's too late.
you
The
have to
cool
roll
train
with it.
has
You
sailed
have to
past
have
me, yeah.
fun. Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that's for the best. Like, people who are trying to be cool as adults, let it go.
I
It's,
know, so sad.
it's a sad ship to run after.
Exactly.
What do you see in your comedy life? Do you see, like, a correspondence to mental health? Like, do you see not mental illness, but do you see, like, mental health themes in comedy or, like, in your own classes and troops and everything?
Oh, for sure. I mean, every other person in comedy is highly medicated.
Yeah,
And in general, like, comedians are bruised people, and I consider myself one of them. Um,
they've been
I
through the
mean, if
ringer
you
in some
it's
way.
true, yeah, and if you talk to a lot of people, kind of like their genesis story of comedy, they were like, "I was at a really low point, and I started doing something I thought would be fun, and now I'm like performing every other week or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Something hit
yeah.
you, made you vulnerable, or made you like see how fragile life was, and you're like, I think I want to do comedy.
Life is fragile, do comedy. That should be the tagline.
Yeah. I was on the edge
Absolutely.
of a cliff and then I saw a microphone or like something pulled you back. But it's true, like I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people have this like do or die moment and they realize they have to do what they think is worth it in life.
Yeah, I mean, I love Jacqueline Novak. She's this great comedian,
Yeah,
and
she has the like a long one woman show that came out last year.
yeah, it's called Get on Your Knees. It's about blowjobs.
Yeah.
It rules.
I think I heard about it. I think I saw a little bit of it at a comedy festival, but I heard it was like well praised and everything.
Yeah, yeah, it's just very unique and, like, obviously, really provocative, and just, like, this interesting perspective on something that's, like, heavily intimate, even though it's, like, constantly joked about and stuff. But she was saying she started getting into comedy because she did one of those Artist Way journals, and
Oh
she wrote
yeah,
down, like, "What would you do if you knew you could not fail?" And she said she would wanted to start going into comedy, and I
nice.
love that.
I have to keep reading The Artist Way. I started it and stopped it, but Gabe called me out on his podcast episode. He was like, "Is that
Yes,
The
I did
Artist
listen.
Way?" Um,
Nice.
I've been trying to do a lot of those like mental exercises because it does make you reflect really well and make you think like, "This is what I want to spend time on. I only have one life. How do I devote time to the thing I want to do?"
Yeah, it seems really cool. I know it's just, like, very '80s looking,
Yeah.
and I can't be earnest about anything. I have such an irony disease. I'm like, "That book's old and weird, and I'm smarter than it." Like, so I haven't picked it up, but it is around for more sweet, sensitive people like Gabe to do and for me to, mock him for it.
It's more of a tool, I would say. It is like
Mhm.
it's a lot of like you gotta take what you can from it and not take it 100% seriously.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I had an improv teacher who said that, like, even with improv notes, like, take what you want and then leave what you don't. Like, this
Yeah.
is you're on your own mat. This is your yoga journey. Like,
This is not a strict Bible. Just, read it, throw it away, whatever. It's just there for you.
yeah, heavens no. I mean, you're driving, right? Like, you're in charge. I love
Yeah.
that. And I use that too when I was more involved in theaters. It was just like, use the theater. Don't let the theater use you. You don't want to constantly be saying, I need to get on this house team or like have these teachers at this theater like me and suck up to them. Like, you're taking these classes for a reason. It's for your own self growth and self improvement. And whatever doesn't serve you, you don't have to do it. Like, you're a paying customer, honestly, when
Yeah.
it comes
Like
down to it.
you can do the assignments, do the exercise, but you don't have to do that thing ever again. Like you can just do it that 1 second
Yeah.
in class.
That's what's rad about being an adult, to choose your own adventure.
That's so true. So you think there's a lot of damaged people in comedy, as I agree. I feel like we're all broken in some way, whether or not it's like outwardly showing. Um, do you think like the way you do sketch and improv is that like a healing, cathartic thing for you, or how does that relate to like mental health for you?
Yeah, well, I genuinely really expressive. I feel like I can be very expressive on stage. I have a Leo moon, so I express myself through being a ham. And that's just
all
like
of
for me
this,
personally.
all of the
Mhm.
zodiac moons are over my head, but I'll try to get from what you're saying what it means.
Yeah, you got it. Context. You went to SUNY Binghamton. You know how to like
Pick it
critically
up.
think and unpack. Absolutely. I believe in you.
Yeah.
So
This
a
is not
moon
this is
is
not
like how
a
you express what's
it's not
inside.
representative of Long Island, but it's representative of something in the celestial sphere.
Exactly. We have to think bigger, faster, stronger than Long Island, because Long Island will be ignorant every time.
Like what motto is that? Bigger, faster, stronger.
I don't know. Probably something
Frank
with sports,
Franklin
but I
Square, New York. Some competitive of our hometown. But I digress. Leo Moon, tell me for all the laymen out there, what does that mean?
so I mean, I also could be describing this in a way that's not 100% correct. Cancel me for a second time. But, a moon is, like, how you express what's going on inside, and that can be different from, like, how you are emotionally. So an
Okay.
emotion is, like, one thing, but how you express an emotion or express yourself is another thing, and usually a moon describes that for you. So
Okay.
my main sign is a Cancer, so I have a squishy center and like a big jokey brain.
Mhm.
And it can be very sensitive. I love to like nest and be really maternal. I'm the mom friend, Hundo P. And then like I'm also just like the one who's always doing karaoke and getting on stage and like volunteering to be in a talent show, which is stupid because adults shouldn't be in talent shows. Um, but yeah, I love being on stage. Like that was never a problem for me. I think like learning improv, I wasn't like, people are gonna look at me. I'm like, that's fine. Like face the audience. Some people don't even know how to do that, which is fine. You should take an improv class.
Yeah.
Um,
Making eye contact, very hard for people.
yeah, it is very hard for people. It takes practice like anything else.
Mhm.
But I feel like as of late, like after I kind of learned the basics of improv, I tried to always play characters that were a little more multidimensional. Um,
Smart.
I wasn't very good at playing, like, vulnerable characters. I had improv coaches tell me, like, "Your character is always put together and they always know what to do." Um, and that's because I always, like, wanted to portray, like, strong women.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, like, not afraid to call people out on stage. Like, I was in this show once and someone was playing, like a gym rat, and they were like, "Well, you have a nice form," and immediately I was like, "Don't comment on my body."
Shut
And
that down.
shut it, like, don't comment on women's bodies, like,
Don't objectify me during my improv show.
during my special show. Yeah, and, like, I'm just, like, not really afraid to say things like that, and the beauty of improv is, like, you say it, like, if you feel sad, you can say, "I feel sad," and, like, we don't do that in real life, which is a bummer, but we were kind of able to take the scene from there and, like, portray, like, the realities of, like, trying to navigate a gym space as someone who has, like, body issues, and it ended up being a pretty funny and, like, good scene, from what I remember.
That's pretty interesting too, because the way the other guy saying, like, "You have a nice body," it seems more like, "Oh, we know where this is going," like,
Mm.
she's gonna love it or she's gonna hate it, and, like, he'll face the backlash, but then body issues is, like, a different kinda scene that I would be way more interested in seeing.
I think so too, and I think people misinterpret, like, that "yes, and" model of improv, which is super important, but I think, like, a more basic move would have been like, "Yeah, I like yours too. We both like each other's bodies." Like, it's more important to just be really truthful and, like, respond genuinely, is
Yeah,
the best thing you can do. It really
like,
gets the laugh every time, it's surprising.
that's a mix of a more vulnerable and strong character because 'cause you're saying, like, "Don't say that about my body," protecting your body, but also, like,
Mhm.
putting down someone objectifying the body, so you're doing both.
Yeah, yeah, and, like, maybe a coach would have said, like, "Oh, that was a negation," like, who knows? Um, I can't remember really, if our even coach said anything, but little stuff like that, I feel like that's important to me as, like, a woman on stage.
Mhm.
Um, I don't write as much, but when I did write sketches, mostly I was just writing with friends and for friend shows, always punching up, which is like the person in power should be the butt of the joke as opposed to like a person who is marginalized in society.
Right.
And Reductress is great at that, right? They're always punching up. Um, and at this point, because I've been doing like sketch and improv for a minute, last year I started directing this awesome workshop that the Magnet Theater in New York put up, which is it's called Moxie, and it's a
Okay.
free like 9-week course with only women, non-binary, and trans comedians, and you learn how to write a sketch and then you put up a show together at the
Mhm.
end of the workshop. And I was actually like a member, like I signed up to do it in 2000, I think 18, and then
Oh,
last year I did it,
hang
but we
on.
didn't get to put up the show. Go ahead.
Sorry, Kay, my Alexa's going off.
Oh, no.
Computer, stop. I don't know, I set some reminder for myself and I just forgot.
No, that's okay.
So you're
Oh,
doing
good,
Moxie
Alexa.
with non-binary, trans, and women identifying people, and you're
Mhm.
directing what are you directing, a sketch show?
Yeah, it's all accumulates in a sketch show. It can be a pretty big workshop. Last year was actually smaller than we usually got. It was like 80 participants, but in the past it's been like a little under 200.
Okay.
And it's just a space where you can like try stuff out in a room that's safe, and just be really encouraged and supported. And it's a space designed for if you're new to it, you can come to it and be supported and like meet like-minded people.
Yeah.
And
That stuff
I
is
remember like
so vital
yeah.
to like our craft, our communities. Because I know you can't create this fake world where it's all like it's not the straight white male in dominance, but like to have a space for like women, trans, non-binary people, it's really important so they can feel safe and can like experiment without saying like, I'm afraid of like what this straight white dude is gonna say after me.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. That can be such a turn off, right? Like I'm sure you've experienced that, and not only in comedy and like literally everywhere.
yeah.
Um But this was years ago, like, I remember I tried to, like, do this sketch thing at UCB back when I was in college, and I would, like, try to take the hike all the way to the train and get to UCB because I was living on campus, which is far from the city. And I remember it being really inhospitable, and I didn't like it, and I kind of, like, left after, like, the first week. This was I forget even what it was called. But, I remember thinking, like, I kinda wish this was available to me, or at least I knew about it when I was, like, young and loving comedy and just wanted to be like all my favorite people on SNL and my favorite people doing stand-up in, like, those, like, cool, like, alt Brooklyn spaces that seems,
Yeah.
like, so fun and welcoming.
Something more
And then
warm and
sometimes when you
inviting
get there yeah, sometimes when you get there, it's not warm and inviting. So
most
that's
of
been,
the
like, a
time.
really important space for me. Yeah,
Most
to,
of the
like
time. Unless, like, you are at a
yes.
UTB, a second city, like, something where it's, like, someone's being paid to make the place warm and inviting, maybe it's good, but the typical comedy room, it's, like, dark, smells, no one's there because 'cause they're having fun. It's, like it's always, like, a place of sadness, at least, like, when you're starting out.
Totally. Yeah, and, like, that's not the kind of work I want. Like, I just wanna put up work that makes people feel less alone. Like, that's the only especially, like, marginalized people, like, young women in particular. Like,
Mhm.
30 Rock got me through high school. I loved watching that show, and, like,
Yeah, 30
looking back
Rock's
on
great.
it, it's fantastic, and, like, it so doesn't age well. There's so many parts of it we should be critical about, but, like, I just
But
remember all
that's
my
comedy.
peers
Comedy
yeah.
doesn't age well, like, good comedy is very in the moment, and so, like, you have to roll with it in the moment. I mean, Tina Fey's taken down a bunch of the episodes too, I think, like, some with
Yeah.
blackface, so
I
it's
mean,
not
they did blackface 4 separate times. That is completely
that's a lot.
unacceptable.
That's a lot of
It's more
blackface.
than 1. Oh my god. Like, we should totally be critical of that, and she's right to take them down, like and she knew it
Yeah.
was wrong when she probably first did it, like, we really have to hold her accountable. But in general, just the idea of, like, Liz Lemon, like, betting on a bag of bras on eBay, like, that's someone who's relatable, and, like, in high school, everyone was watching, like, The OC and, like, Gossip Girl, and I
Yeah.
guess I watch those shows sometimes, but really I was just like, "Ugh, I love Liz Lemon." Like, I love watching her have a cool job and, like, be struggling kind of like I feel like I am.
Yeah, just, like, kick ass in this male-dominated world where Alec Baldwin is the
Yeah.
head of G&E. She's great in that show, and also, like, I fell off the OC. I don't think I really got into Gossip Girl because they were so unbelievable that these rich kids had everything, everyone wanted them, they got into Ivy League schools, and it's like, they never go to school, they, like, fuck around on the weekends
I
and,
know.
like, look into the ocean. They don't do anything with their time. Like, they're all
They sit on the
beautiful.
steps of the Upper East Side. Yeah.
They can model Abercrombie& and Fitch or whatever, but Liz Lemon's a real person where you're like, "Oh, I can, like, learn from her journey. I can see the comedy in this, even if it's
Yes.
from a prior time period," and you're like, "I don't know if all those jokes hit in 2021, but, um,
Mhm.
I admire that show for sure." I love Tina Fey. I feel like her memoir, her story is really, like, this is a woman who started with nothing, worked at the YMCA, and then
Yeah.
climbed to be a head writer on SNL.
Oh, yeah, like, super cool. I definitely look up to her, she's one of my favorites. But even just, like, women not being afraid to, like, look bad and, like, be silly is
Mhm.
so fun, like, we don't play as adults, and it's just, like, fun to put up sketches where you have to be, like, a drunk bridesmaid on the 4 train. Like, I can't think of anything more fun than that, that's fun to me. And, like, having, like, other women, like, who work, like, these corporate jobs, like, come do this comedy workshop with me on Saturday afternoons, like, that was definitely where I wanted to be comedy-wise before COVID.
Yeah, I think that's awesome that you're creating that space for people. Are you like did you say you're directing it? Do you have a co-director? How long have you been doing it?
Yeah, well, last year we actually didn't get to put up our shows because they were supposed to go up in March and, like, early April.
No.
I know,
The
but
worst
we had
the
picked
worst time.
lineup the worst time. Yeah, the way the workshop works is that, you're put in a group with 3 directors, just because the groups are
Mhm.
so big, it's about, like, 20 plus people in a room. So I worked with 2 co-directors on that one, and I'll get 2 different co-directors, for this next round that's coming up. I don't know who they are yet. And the way it works is you really focus on writing for the first many weeks of the workshop because, like, a good show has the basis of good writing. And
Yeah.
then the fun part is picking the sketches and casting and rehearsing and then putting it all up. And it's supposed to be kind of messy. It's sketch, like it's not fine art. You like get knocked over the head with the joke, and that's fine. Like clarity's great.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot changes, like, from one performance to the next.
Yeah, they get to put up, I think, 2 to 3 shows, but this time we're doing it all virtually, so we'll pre-record everything and then stream it on Twitch.
Oh, Twitch? So modern.
Mhm. So modern.
That's cool. Your new microphone will come in handy.
I know, right? I'm ready. I'm prepared.
That's awesome. So are you writing with it also? Like, do you write the sketches?
As a director, people bring in their sketches and you note them, and
Mhm.
really just like the fundamentals of sketch writing, which is like bring in an idea and then the best part is just like sussing it out in the room. Like being in a
Mhm.
writer's room is so fun. Um, yeah, because you can come in with like a half idea and then like suss out what the beats of the sketch might look like with like funny people. And I feel like that's such an easier way to write than just thinking of something in your own head, like alone in a room. Like it's
Yeah,
super collaborative.
were you probably like, I usually write alone, so I feel like you spend a lot of time with something, you perfect it, and then it turns
Yeah.
out like it's like half baked anyway, and you're like, "Oh, it's not even good." And it's probably so much more productive to write in a room with other comedy people.
Exactly, and it's really vulnerable to bring in, like, "I think I have this idea, like, let's read it out loud." So we really applaud everybody who comes in and has people read their stuff out loud. It's not the easiest place to be in, but it's really the only way you get better if this is what you really wanna do.
That's so cool. So did you do it before 2020, or was that the first year?
The first year I directed it was 2020, and then I'll be
Okay.
doing it again this year. And I was a participant in 2018, and then in 2019, I remember I didn't do it because by that point I'd kind of taken off and like I had an indie sketch team and I was on a sketch team at the Magnet Theater. So I was kind of just like too busy for it. But
Mhm.
coming back and like having this new position and it was really full circle. It was really fun. But that's just one example of like just kind of where I want to be is just sharing the wealth of something that I like to do combined with my feminism.
Yeah, it sounds like a good philanthropic route to take.
Right, exactly. My volunteer hours.
Giving back to the community, like, what you have gained from it, and also, like, being like, "I'm a woman, I wanna create a safe space for other women, other marginalized people." I know
Mhm.
in LA, I really seek out, like, female curated stand-up venues and, like, open mics
Cool,
just
yeah.
because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, it's a woman-only mic? That means, like, people will laugh at my jokes, and they won't take too long to get there." Like, they understand where I'm coming from. So it's nice to have that similar mental space where people are like, "No, no, we get it. Like, you don't have to explain for 30 minutes. We get it." It's
Yes,
just
I couldn't agree more.
it's so
Yeah, it's
nice
there's
to
something
have
really
women around you.
special. So
Mhm.
special about, like and I know people, like, kind of push back on the gender exclusive spaces, but I think it's great that you just have time with people who understand your specific struggles, and, ideally, those spaces would be opened up to, like, trans folks or non-binary folks, because those experiences are different from, like, my being a cis woman and, like, a cis white woman at that, right? Um, so this project is just one of many that, like, ideally, you just create the space, and therapy does that too. Boom, tying in your 2 themes.
Yeah, I feel
Therapy is
like
just super creating that space.
they totally go together 'cause,
Mhm.
I know for me, like, going to a women's only open mic, it's like, this is a safe space where you can say whatever you want and no one's gonna, like, kinda boo you with their eyes or whatever. And if men are allowed to come, they have to understand, like, this is a no rape joke zone. This is like, you
Mhm.
have to be at least presenting gender equality. You can't, like, just be shitting on your ex-girlfriend for, like, these stupid reasons. So
Like, seriously, we know the crazy ex-girlfriend stereotype. Like, we know that you're in the wrong there. Like, I doubt your ex-girlfriend is crazy. I'm sure you were just treating her like shit. Like, so boring. So
I
boring.
know.
Like, give me something interesting.
On Netflix, I'll see a special on Netflix of some, they could be as famous as Chris Rock, not saying this is Chris Rock. They could be that level
Mhm.
or they could be lesser than, like, a less famous person. They could be saying some stereotype about their ex-girlfriend and they seem so pissed and so angry. None of it's funny.
No.
So like those are the people who should be also going to therapy and like working out the shit with the therapist and also going to comedy separately. While they are related, you should do both of them.
Oh, yeah, I've had that thought too, seeing stand-ups, just be like, "I feel like you should just be having a conversation with your therapist. Like, there are no jokes here. This is
Yeah.
just a rant of thoughts," and that's fine. Like, it's just not comedy. Like, comedy is effort and work and, like, memorization and writing, like,
Mhm.
and
When
that's
you
it
when
it
you have to
people make it look
constantly
easy.
like when you're constantly like what's it called? Catering to the audience, being like, "No, it's totally fine. Like, I don't mean what I'm saying. Like, I'm really over it. This is not true." And it's like, "Are you over it?" Like, you seem like you haven't
Yeah,
separated that emotion. But it's hard 'cause
totally.
you wanna write about stuff you are vulnerable about, you are going through, but you have to make it funny at the same time and separate that hard emotion.
Yeah, and, like, I think it was Cameron Esposito who said this, but she's like, "If your art is, like, punching down, it's just propaganda."
Mhm.
And using a term that strong, like, really makes you think of, like, you're right, like, this is a really serious art form, and, like, comedy's like anything else, there's bad versions of it. There's a lot of bad writing out there, and the good
Oh, for
version should
sure.
make you, like, transcend the pain and, like, laugh about it, which is so special and, like, such a special part of the human experience. To,
Mhm.
like, fuck that up deliberately, I'm just so bored with you. Like, ugh, what a dull man. So many of them.
Yeah, and, women do it too. I'm sure,
Oh,
like,
absolutely, yeah.
I just don't see it that often, but also there's not a lot of women making it onto Netflix, so who knows? But I'm just saying we're all here to see comedy. It's hard to keep it comedic and not bring down whoever wronged you in the past. But do you have any comedic inspirations? Like who do you look up to? Who do you try to like follow in the footsteps of when you're doing your sketch and your improv stuff?
Yeah, that is such a fun question. I mean, I feel like I love everybody. I love the women of SNL. Julio Torres puts out continually fantastic stuff. I love Bowen Yang and Matt Rogers. They're my favorite comedic duo right now.
Yeah. They have
Glow
that
Tavares is great.
Last
Mhm.
Call Teresa's podcast.
Yeah, that's my favorite podcast. I listen really religiously. It's so fun to me.
They're funny.
Um, yeah, just like really like the Brooklyn alt scene kind of before everything went crashing down. I thought was really fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Those shows that like are in lofts or like warehouses
yeah.
scattered throughout Brooklyn.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of, like, musical comedy that's really fun, like, I think Larry Owens is just God's gift to man, he's so funny. Um, Catherine Cohen, I think, can be a real hit, with, like, millennial problems, and, like, relatability, I think she's really great at that,
Mhm.
although sometimes I don't always, like, agree with her politic, but that's okay,
That's life.
yeah. I think in general, a lot of people I admire really just like kind of are doing the thing that I was doing, which is just doing improv with friends and seeing what happened, which is really fun. And that's like the whole say yes part of the improv mode of thinking was just like all of a sudden you have this network just because you said I will take that class and I will join your indie thing and I will write for your late night show you're filming on YouTube, stuff like that. And that was just the plan, just to continue and see where it led me. But I think what's interesting about this time is that I can pivot a little bit and see what else outside of comedy makes me excited, probably even about comedy more.
Yeah.
You only get to be a better comedian if you like learn more things because you have to know things to subvert them, and that's what comedy is.
That's been like the strange gift of the time period is you can have a little bit more time to think and be like, where do I want to go next? Like, what am I doing with my life right now? And you get more like time for reflection in the pandemic.
Yeah, a lot of reflecting. America's just sitting in its room thinking about what it's done.
Yes.
Like, that's been the whole year. What a strange and terrible year.
Do
But yeah, I was
you
just listening to Phoebe Robinson too. I'll throw her name in there. I love her.
Oh, she's awesome.
Yeah, right?
Do you find it, uh, easy to, like, say no to stuff or, like, choose what projects you wanna take on, and how do you balance that with working a day job?
Yeah, well, this is brings up therapy a little bit too because I told my therapist I was approached to do Moxie again, and at first I was like, "I don't know. I don't know if I wanna be on Zoom, like, it's not the
Mhm.
same. I kinda just feel bummed." And, what's great about my current therapist is, like, she'll just give me advice, and my former therapist was like, "Well, why do you think you asked me if you want advice?" She's like, "No, you should do it." Which is great, which is super pragmatic and fun.
And that kinda cuts to the chase way faster where you're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
the professional thinks I should do it. Maybe I should just try it."
exactly. Yeah, I think right before lockdown, I was actually thinking of cutting back doing shows and stuff anyway. Um, but I was at the point where I was like, I really just want to do stuff with friends. I think I'm done taking classes. Like with all the friends I've made from classes, I'd like just to work together and put stuff up that's really unique and help like kind of support other people's visions.
Yeah, especially when you have
Um,
that network in place where you're like, "Oh, everyone's doing stuff. Why not just collaborate for now?"
yeah, that's the best. Just like making stuff with friends is totally the best.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that, and then I also just signed up for this all virtual sketch team. Again, with like the advice of my therapist of like, we're gonna be in quarantine for a while. Just try the thing that made you happy a year ago and see how it feels. And you can always kind of circle back after doing a season and see if you want to do it again. So I think I'm
Yeah.
just less precious right now, which is fun. And in terms of balancing things with a day job, like you really have to treat your job like you can't afford to lose it because you can't. And luckily for me, I really love my job.
That's good advice.
Yeah, really, I'm funnier with health insurance. That's
Mhm.
just a fact. Like, I know some people
There's that
don't
check
have it
mark
and
off
very privileged.
the
Mhm.
Maslow hierarchy where you're like, "I have my needs taken care of, and I can think about other stuff now."
Absolutely. Yeah, and, like, luckily, that's usually when shows happen is at night. So, between the hours of 9 and 5, I am not doing anything, no bookings, although I use the printer at work a lot to print out sketches.
Yeah, I think that's just, like, economically savvy. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
smart thing to do.
Good, thank you for your approval, love that.
Yeah, I'm blanking on this comic's name, but someone has a bit, this Asian guy who opened for Ali Wong has a bit about you should print everything at work. You should never have a printer in your home.
That's great.
That's
Yeah,
like the
let me
perk
know if you find out who that is, that's funny.
that's the perk of having a job. His name will probably come to me in, like, 10 minutes, but he had a
Of
good bit
course.
about, when you have to learn something comedically, you do not print it out unless it's at work. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, is there anything I wanna spin some roulette wheel questions, but is there anything you wanna say about, like, the positivity of going to therapy just to, like, promote it for people who haven't tried therapy or might be, like, reluctant about it?
I mean, if anything, I would have started earlier, and luckily, I feel like I used to live in Brooklyn, like, I live in a space where people, like, are drunk and talk to you about their therapist on, like, a rooftop, like, it's cool to have therapists now, which is really privileged of our group of friends or whatever,
Yeah,
but in general, like,
like
having an hour
America.
a week just for yourself yeah, exactly, is, like that's not a lot of time.
No.
Um, it's not a lot of time at all, like, take it, take the space. It feels so good just to be like, "No, this is 100% mine."
Mhm.
Um, and you'd be surprised, like, how that quote unquote "selfishness" during that time is just, like, helps you relax. And really, sometimes when something bad happens to me or, whatever, I can be like, "Okay, I'm gonna pack this away and I'll talk about it in therapy on Friday." And that really helps, like, I'm not gonna put this away, like, I have to move on, but I'm not gonna let it go, like, I'm really gonna take the time to digest that. That's my plug for therapy.
That's so well-rounded and healthy. I love it because you're right, it's, like, such little time you're devoting to yourself anyway.
Yeah.
Why not take advantage of that, especially if you feel like you need it? And to have something heavy happen to you and not repress it for the rest of your life, such a healthy outlook to be able to
We're
talk it
living
out.
in a global pandemic. Go to therapy. It is all
Yes.
good. There are no rules.
There's so much of it available. Like, I love how you
Yeah.
mentioned psychology today, because that's where I've been, like, shopping therapists lately, and that's where I've been looking, just like, who takes my insurance? That's
Mhm.
something I can afford. I will, yeah, go on a few, like, dates with a therapist and see who's a good match.
Yeah, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
better than real dating.
I
That
mean,
thing's a mess.
you get to talk about your shit, so, like, either way, you're getting something out of it.
Yeah, totally.
And, yeah, you don't have to pay for someone's taco appetizer. It's a win all around.
Oh my god. I don't miss it.
No. Okay, so this is just, like, lighthearted, random questions. I think we have time for, like, a couple, so I'll give you a spin, Kay.
Okay.
Travel. So
Okay,
this
hold
this
on one second, Michelle. I am getting a call. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm back.
good? Is everything
We're good.
okay? You have to take a second?
I don't. I'm gonna um cancel a project when we hang up because that's what I have to do. Where did
Okay.
you go? Okay, you're back.
I'll try to remind you if you need reminding.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we can cut all of that out and we can spin again if you need me
Yeah,
to.
for sure. Do you wanna stick with travel or you wanna spin again?
What is the wheel? Can you explain the wheel to me?
So it's,
It's so
like,
cute.
very lighthearted, like, money, travel, health, just, like, where you're at in that area of your life.
Ooh.
There's a couple weird ones, but it's mostly, like, basic stuff.
Okay.
So, I just spin on it, I say, "Hey, Kay, where's the last place you traveled to, or where would you like to travel to once we're out of the pandemic?" Then we just hear your thoughts, like a riff on it for a few minutes.
Ooh, okay. Well, why don't we spin again because travel is non-existent?
I know it's a hard one. It's it's good in, like, pre-2020. Okay, give you a spin.
Yes, it is. Ooh, this is such a good wheel, Michelle.
Thank
If
you.
the
It's
listeners can't see it, man.
from Jeff Bezos. Okay, it landed on travel again. I'll spin again for you.
We can't travel wheel.
I know. Okay,
People are,
landed
but I don't
on
recommend it.
no, oh my god, the people traveling right now, I am judging them hard.
Me too. I don't get it.
Especially, like, I know these people in exotic islands, and I'm like, "What where are you?" Like, are you on St. Bart's with Chrissy Teigen? Otherwise, what are you doing?
I know,
Um,
right?
it landed on obsessed. So, tell us
Ooh,
something you've been obsessed with. It could be good, bad. It's probably on the internet. Tell us about it.
sure. Ooh, this is such a fun one, Michelle. Okay, so me and Gabe watched the other night. It's on Netflix. It's called Nate, a One-Man Show.
Yes, I've seen it.
Have you seen it? Oh my god,
Yeah.
I've been looking for someone who has seen it because I loved it. It was
It's
truly one of the
great.
best things I've seen.
So
I'm
weird.
so obsessed. So weird, so provocative. Like, it made me think really stupid things like art is really cool. Like, that was
Yeah.
a thought I had after I watched it.
Art can have a
Um,
message. Like, it's very, Me Too oriented message, but
yeah.
not at all preachy.
Yeah, it like sunk into the gray areas of even like performance itself. You heard it here first. And of consent culture and of just like being a woman on stage. Like it was this comedian and she played this character, Nate. Um and like she was topless the whole time because her character had his shirt off and like Netflix did not censor the nipple.
I watched it
But even
with
that is just like, holy shit, this woman is topless.
I watched it with Joseph, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Well, you could see her boobs." And I was like, "There's no way those are her boobs. Like, there's for sure, like, makeup on or something." And I denied it for a long time, and I was like, "No, those are her boobs."
Yeah, yeah, I remember thinking that too, like, "Oh, maybe it's a prosthetic." It was
Mhm.
not, and she's just so talented, like, she was really good at, like, the commedia dell'arte of, like, playing multiple characters, and, like, that's what like, a good actor, like, you don't need a lot on stage, like, you can make us feel for you and make things come to life just with your body,
Mhm.
and she absolutely did that. And I've been telling people, "You have to watch it, but don't watch it with your parents, like, don't watch it with people who are sensitive."
Yeah.
Honestly, there was no trigger warning to it, and maybe there should have been, but it talks about, like, consent culture and, like, the gray areas of what consent can and can't look like, and it's audience participatory, like, it must have been a real trip being in the audience, right? Can you imagine?
Wonder what they told that audience before they walked inside, because especially,
I
like,
wonder that too.
there's a handful of people who get called up and
Mhm.
have, like, a participant role in the show, and they, like, touch this half-naked woman, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what did they know going in? I wanna know.
Me too. Yeah, I mean, the show starts with her groping people in the audience. Like,
Yeah,
it goes there,
with
in
permission.
a way that was really cool. With permission. Yeah, but it also unpacked, like, permission at its most basic level is not enough, which is, like, scary for people to hear, but, like, we don't have these conversations. Like,
Mhm.
I thought she just did a phenomenal job, and if you wanna watch something that really just makes you think and really makes you laugh, like, her improv skills were so honestly, like, I watched it and I was like, "Man, like, I really need to be better at my physical stuff," and she's so in the moment, and, like, she's so good at playing characters, like, it really made me inspired to, like, be a better performer, like, as well.
That's so cool. That's a rave review from Kay
It's
Mollica.
a
You heard
rave review, and
you heard
I'm
it
such a
here.
hater. I'm so critical, like, I don't like the things that everybody likes, like, I'm such a bummer, and then
Well,
this
this is
one thing, I'm
definitely
like
an alt production, like, it's
yeah.
so off the cuff. I think Amy Poehler has some kinda hands in it. I think she's, like, an exec producer.
Yeah, I think she produced the Netflix show, and I think she, like,
Okay,
saw the stage show and really liked it.
because she's in the beginning, like, saying, like, something about it. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, it totally is not like anything else out there. There is nudity, there is a prosthetic dick. You should
sure
definitely go
is.
see it.
Oh, yeah, and, like, it
I
just
recommend.
wasn't a yeah, like, it was, and I think a lot too about how the right is always like, "Liberals are so sensitive, like, you can't say anything around them," like, this show was, like, quote, unquote, "woke" and, like, kind of lefty, but it, like, went there, like, it said things that you're, quote, "not supposed to say,"
Oh, yeah,
but it
it's
did it in a way that was
still
really, like,
uncomfortable.
artistic. Yeah, like, it was really uncomfortable, and, like, she reminded me of all the artists I, like, studied in college, like, she's, like, Carolee Schneemann of our time, like, she rules. I really liked her.
Nice. Yeah, I kept wondering about the character she's playing, his backstory being like, "What has Nate gone through?" Like, what
Yeah, I
brought him
love
to
it.
this
I keep
point?
saying yeah, exactly. I keep saying her, Michelle, and I'm not saying her name. What was the name of the actor?
I don't know it. Do you wanna look it up real quick?
I'm looking it up real quick because I feel
Okay,
like I'm not
give her
saying
the
her
credit.
name.
She got a shout out on Hoo Ha Ha, about, like, one of the top comedy performances this year, so I think she's getting
Oh, cool.
recognition. Yeah,
Yeah, her name is Natalie Palamides.
okay. Natalie
Um,
Palamides.
yeah, and she did, like, UCB stuff too at, like, LA, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't know for sure if it was filmed at UCB, but it looks like UCB.
Oh,
Um,
does it? Okay. Yeah, I was
yeah.
wondering where that theater was.
I think it's UCB Franklin out here.
Gotcha. Very cow. Yeah, what was I gonna say? She won the same, like, award for, like, art and public service that Pussy Riot did a couple years
Okay.
ago.
No
Yeah,
way.
so yeah, right? So it's kinda similar, like, um, reclaiming like, Pussy Riot was so cool because they, like, reclaimed, like, punk rock, which is normally, like, white guys being like, "Oh, the man." It's like, "No, this can be used to, like, rebel against an authoritarian Russian government." How do you feel about that? So,
Can
very
use it for
similar
other
with, like, the
things.
world of theater.
That's so cool. Yeah, I give, Natalie all the credit because when I was watching that, I was like, "This is a." I don't know, you probably did something similar, like, you see yourself as the performer, and it's like, this is
Oh,
a
yeah,
hard
you're nervous.
show.
Mhm.
Imagine, like,
It's
putting that
harsh.
on every night.
I know, like, just putting your body on the line, it's just like, people just think you can just be an actor. It's like, that's a fucking actor right there. Like, she's in the trenches, she's working really hard, and it was
She is.
so funny. Like, I laughed so much in, like, a deep, perfect way. Like,
Yeah.
Michelle, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. It's
She's
so
the
good.
best. It was great shock value and also, like, great, like, standpoint on gender, like, this woman is
Mhm.
playing a man with fake body hair, and I don't know, you can see the effort she put in, it's very smart. Go watch Nate on Netflix.
Totally. Nate, a one-man show. Get there.
Let's give you one more random question, Kay.
Okay. You know I love to talk.
Let's keep gabbing. It landed on health. How is your health? How could it be better?
Ooh, my health. Well, I've been watching a lot of intuitive eating TikTok. That's a cool
What is
sentence.
that?
I know, right? I'm so strange. So intuitive eating is like it's like an anti-diet mindset, and it was kind of
Okay.
created by people who were like helping folks out of eating disorders. um, get back in tune with their body. Right?
Okay.
So if you have an eating disorder, you're probably really out of whack of like, I don't even know if I'm hungry. Like I've kind of fucked up my hunger signals
Mhm.
because I've repressed them or I've said that they were bad or like taking up space and eating is bad, like in some aspects of eating disorders, right? And that's not just like anorexia. It could be like binge eating or just like eating at odd intervals or just like having a shitty relationship with food. And a lot of women in particular have shitty relationships with food.
Yeah, because you totally turned off, any natural relationship you had with food and
Exactly.
controlled it in some, like, dictator regiment, like, "No food for me. No food is the only way." So, you have to
Yeah, and,
get
like,
back to what
diet
that
culture
means.
is such a bummer, like, diet culture is just, like, everything that they say is a load of crap.
Yeah.
Um, just trying to erase culture and history and our self-esteem, it sucks. But intuitive eating is like, "Oh, what does it feel like to be hungry? What does it feel like to be satisfied? What does it feel like to make a meal for myself and, like, put my body into something that's going to come back and nourish my body?" So these TikToks are like quick 1-minute videos, and one of the people I love the most, her name is like I am Iona, I think. My name is Iona. She cooks a meal and like shows you like the quick little videos of her cooking the meal and says like diet culture, I'm making cookies. Like diet culture demonized cookies, even though cookies were first invented in the 1800s and they've been used in celebrations and baked goods and they're used all around the world. And yet diet culture says you shouldn't have them. Well, we're going to eat one today. And cookies have been a part of culture since a very long time. And you can't just erase them or demonize them because they're part of like the world we're in like a really beautiful way. And I've been thinking about food that way a lot. And in core, we've been cooking a lot. I've been trying to eat really plant based. I've been trying to eat really intuitively in a way that makes me happy and full. And sometimes that means like a lot of vegetables and tofu, but other times I like eat ice cream and like have a nice night with my mom. Like those
Yeah.
things are entwined and should make you happy. So I feel like health wise, a lot of cooking and eating in a really mindful way.
Like, intuitively, you can say, "This night is about sweets," or, like, celebration,
Yeah.
and ice cream and cookies are totally welcome tonight.
Yeah, and, like, there's no such thing as bad food. Like, they're trying to get rid of the mindset of, like, those are no-no foods. Like, all food is food. And
Yeah.
once you stop putting a stigma on food, you have this less, like, really contentious and really damaging relationship with it. Because then you're probably more likely to, like, "Oh, that's pie. That's a bad food. I'm not gonna eat it." And then when all your family leaves, you eat an entire pie, and then you hate yourself. So,
Yeah, because you feel like you have
that's a
to, like,
bad cycle.
shame eat the pie in secrecy.
Yeah. Oh, it's so sad. Like, my God, everyone has such a damaged relationship with food. And I feel like this is a small step for me to be like, I'm going to try to improve my relationship with food a little bit.
That's great. I had no idea this kind of content was on TikTok.
TikTok has everything. Oh my God. It's
Was it?
crazy.
I
Oh,
am
yeah.
still that old person who hasn't opened or downloaded the app, so maybe
Oh, yeah.
you'll
Quarantine made me
suck
do it.
me in with intuitive eating.
I recommend it. I really do.
If there's health on there, I mean, there's comedy and I'm, like, intimidated by the comedy, but the health could teach me something, so
Exactly. Yeah. I've gotten a lot of recipes from TikTok, which is great because when you look at a recipe online, it's like, here's a long story about my handsome son, Mason, and
oh
we'll
my god,
always
it's
remember
like
9/11,
20
and, like,
blog
then you get the
posts.
recipe. Oh my god, it's
Yeah,
so annoying. Like, TikTok is just like, "Boom, give me the video, give me the ingredients and a screenshot." So much easier.
yeah, let's
I
cut
can't
to
go
the
back.
chase.
I know, let's cut to the chase. It's so obnoxious.
The recipes are really driving me crazy. I think I have to, like, I have to be that person writing out the recipes by hand or cutting them out to get rid of the blog post before it something has to change. It's like,
I know, this
I don't need to
culture.
know about Mason. I can just, I'm better off without him. Crazy. It's
In
okay,
my
we're at
mind,
the end.
Masons don't exist.
No.
We are. Wow, that flew by,
I know, it
dude.
was so much fun talking to you. You are very funny. Gabe really has a lot to compete with in the household. Let us know where to find you online if you wanna promote anything.
Ooh, will do. I One of my core projects was finishing my website, so you can find so much about me, on
It looks
kaymollica.com.
great.
Ooh, how easy is
I
that?
was
Thank
I was
you.
checking it
Yeah, it was
out
fun to make.
yesterday. You have a cute, intro to who you are and all the projects you're doing.
That's right, and I'm doing some voiceover stuff in core, so if you have a project and need a melodious voice of a 27-year-old who sounds like they're 12, you know where to find me.
And you've got a good range too.
It's all about the range. Yeah, you gotta show the range.
Do you want to plug your Twitter or socials?
Yeah, sure thing. I am everywhere at Kay Mollica, so it's QUE and then my last name MOLLICA.
All right, we'll find you, Kay. This is so great. Thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a blast.
Likewise.
Happy
So we
New Year.
Happy New Year.